to talk about Dick Smith, the man, not the Dick Smith, the makeup artist. There's been nobody else in this business that I can say has affected me more as a makeup artist than Dick Smith. Not only his tremendous influence on me as in the makeup field and technique, but also what he's done for me as a person. He's taught me a lot about how to work with other fellow makeup artists and how to work in the industry. Over the years, by his own actions, Dick has shown us all to share information with each other, something that I think is very unique in anyone's character. Most of us have a tendency to hide secrets and keep things under wrap. And Dick has a quality of himself. He's shown us this attitude of sharing that I've never seen in anyone before. There's not a day that goes by at my work that I don't use a technique or something that Dick, a formula or anything that Dick has come up with that he hasn't had. I know that he's had his hands in, from Pax paint to any kind of adhesives, Dick is also, for me personally, is a very thoughtful and giving man. As a youngster growing up in Ohio, there wasn't a whole lot of makeup information, and the only thing that I really learned was from articles that Dick Smith had either been interviewed articles or articles about Dick Smith, because he shared so much information. These were always the detailed articles that I learned from. Water break. When I decided to move out to Hollywood, I wrote several makeup artists out here. I know a lot of them were busy, but the one response that I got back was from someone who I thought wouldn't have the time because of the size of who he was. He was the only response that I got back, and that was from Dick Smith. He was on his way to overseas, I think, I'm not sure if it was to work on Amadeus, but he was working on something over in Yugoslavia. And he took the time to stop and write me a short letter. I'm sure I was one of many, but he did take the time to write me a letter and encourage me to keep doing what I was doing. Dick also continues today to help other people. Just 2 weeks ago, two young Frenchmen came, and this is not something that he's been doing just in the United States, but all over the world. Two young Frenchmen came and visited me 2 weeks ago, and they had been keeping correspondence going with Dick. And through his meeting him and corresponding with him, I was able to see them. A lot of times I don't have time to do that, but these guys were special because Dick had helped them out. So, in conclusion, this man is somebody who I feel loves makeup and makeup so much that he will see in someone like myself the same passion, and because of that, it lights him up. When to this day, when he talks about any technique, or we're on the phone together talking, I can tell there's still a young excitement in his voice for this. And I think he wants the business to keep flourishing. So he's always been pushing for young artists to keep going. So, I've never met a kinder, more generous man than he. Thank you, Dick, for everything you've done for me personally, and what you brought to the world of makeup and makeup effects. You're a great human being.
All right, let's hear it again for Kevin Yagher. Okay, our next acclaimed speaker is Mr. John Buechler. Let's hear it for John Buechler of MMI.
Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. Happy Halloween, Dick. I have never been privileged to work with Dick Smith. I'm one of those people that was a fan, that saw his work in Famous Monsters of Filmland. Corey wrote wonderful articles about him. I don't think there's anyone in this whole room that Dick Smith's work hasn't affected. Not just the scientific breakthroughs, the artistry, the brilliance, the genius, but I think Dick has really been responsible for creating a renaissance in effects, in special effects movies. There was a time where people didn't put a whole lot of money into movies, but there was a time when people didn't put a whole lot, and that was like in the 20s and the silent films. It seemed like nothing was too big, and then there was a slow period, and then suddenly, boom, pow, there's this big special effects explosion, and I think at the forefront there's Dick Smith. I spoke to Dick a little bit earlier in the lobby today, and I mentioned to him how he had affected my life, and how movies like The Exorcist, perhaps the greatest horror film ever made, Little Big Man, that just brought the brilliance of makeup to the forefront. And of course, in Dick's own inimitable style, he sort of shrugged it off and said, well, Planet of the Apes affects a lot of things, and but yeah, I'm sorry, Dick, you have helped shape, I think, a whole new art form. You are truly the dean of makeup artists. Dick has an open door policy. What Kevin had said earlier is absolutely true. Dick has been the most accessible makeup artist and friend to the newcomer in the industry. He's helped everyone. I called Dick about 3 months ago myself on a picture called The Lawnmower Man. I was doing a crumbling head for a Stephen King movie, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I remembered he did something similar for The Hunger. And by golly, 3 days later, I received a package from him of the kind of wax he used and a formula in conversations. The man's amazing, and he's created an open door policy, which is just, I think, made the makeup effects community one big happy family. There is enormous sharing of ideas. As I said, there is a renaissance, and I think that attitude and the artistry and the striving for perfection that we see, and the brilliant special effects that all of my colleagues participate in, and we owe a lot to you, Dick. Thank you very much, and happy Halloween.
Let's hear it again for John Buechler. And how about a nice Halloween welcome for Mr. Bottin.
Hello. How are all of you? You're all drunk, right? Having a good time? Everybody? Joe Dante down there? My boss, my pal. Anyway, well, there's only one reason I'm here tonight, and I'm going to make this brief, and it's because of Dick Smith. And when I was a kid, I sound like an old man now. When I was a kid, he was my hero. And I just came here tonight to let you all know that he is still my hero, and nothing's changed. So Dick, God bless you. I wouldn't miss this for the world, and I think you're the best, right? So my hat off to you if I had one on. Anyway, thank you, and that's it. Keep it brief. They love you more, you know?
Okay, Bottin. Our next special guest, let's have a nice Halloween welcome for Mr. Rick Baker.
Help the makeup.
All right, we're back for you.
I have to take the teeth out. I hate to sound repetitious. I mean, everybody up here is going to be saying the same stuff about Dick. I mean, he's done more than anyone for makeup artists. And I know as a kid when I wanted to be a makeup artist, and I would look at pictures of makeups that different people would do, there was always these ones that looked so much better than anybody else's, and they all seemed to be by Dick Smith. So this guy this guy's great, you know. And Dick was like my god as a kid. I'm sure all the guys that do that kind of work like me felt that, to forgive it. So I said, okay. So I started out there. He gave me formulas for everything, told me how to sculpt, gave me texture pads that I still use today. And one day my work just improved like 200%. And like I said, Dick, I don't know any other makeup artist in this room that I think could bring out all the makeup artists in this room and all the great makeup people here. I mean, this building would collapse. I hate to think what would happen to the film business, and it would all be Dick Smith's fault. Anyways, I love you, Dick, and thanks.
How many folks knew that was Rick Baker under that makeup? Clap if you did. All right. Okay, now our next guest is representing K&B. His name's Robert Kurtzman. He's worked with Dick Smith on a couple of movies like Tales from the Dark Side. Let's have a nice fango welcome for Bob Kurtzman. Come on down, Bob. He's coming, he's coming. What do you think so far? You guys having a good time? Yeah? All right. Does anyone else want to say something about that? Probably right here. Oh, well, why don't we skip ahead if he's not here. Gabe Bartalos. How about a nice fango welcome for Gabe Bartalos? Come on, Gabe. Yeah, right, here he is. Let's hear it for Gabe. Okay.
He takes the podium.
Hi folks, how you doing? Coming up to do this was real easy because I think it's only been the last couple of years that I think Dick has really realized the scope of the influence he's had on the industry. Makeup effects industry, film industry, the whole entertainment industry. One of the things that made me think about that was that years ago, living in Scarzone, Eastchester, neighboring town of Larchmont, I was doing a makeup demo, step-by-step Planet of the Apes makeup application with little photo promos to show it off. Thought I'd take one over to Dick's house and let him know about it, since being right next door. Knocking upon his door, Dick answered the door. Showing him, Dick looked it over and said, okay. Looked up and said, do you know who I am? And I was a bit shocked. I thought to myself, of course I do. And that was that. As I walked away, I kind of saw the mailman walking by and the postboy, and I realized he thought I was going door to door passing these out. So that was interesting. But then on the flip side, as the years went on, having the good fortune to know Rick Baker and talking to him, whenever we were talking to the industry and he would bring up Dick, Rick's eyes themselves would light up and he would get all excited about Dick and would go on and on and on and have no problems with going on and the influence he had on the industry. That's pretty darn good when you put a scope to someone like Rick Baker who holds Dick so high. I thought that was great. The magazines, as the years go by, have done a lot to show that makeup effects are part of the industry and a very real art form. And people like Bob Martin and Tony Tampone have been pivotal in this and letting everybody know this, which I think is terrific. Get going, Tony. But what's most important to me is that Dick represents something of taking very traditional art forms, sculpture, painting, illustration, and encompasses them all in this picked theater, film, and television as his canvas, which I think is great. These are real exciting times. Quiet down, folks. These are real exciting times, and there are many different ways to do stuff, and I think it's real exciting to apply it all to this stuff and how Dick encompasses that. So Dick, on this evening, as in the past, and always in the future, makes it real easy for me to say, I salute you. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's hear it again for Gabe. Yeah. Wait to see Gabe's stuff in SDK3. It's phenomenal. Okay, and our next very special guest, let's have a big Halloween wink welcome for Mr. Stan Winston. except for the fact that I would say that one man, I honestly believe, past, present, and probably the future, can wear the hat of the best, and that's Dick Smith. And I mean that very sincerely. There are a lot of wonderful talents out there today. There have been for many years, there always will be. But it's very easy to say when someone says who is the best, to be able to say Dick Smith. I remember when I was starting out in my apprenticeship at Walt Disney in 1970. Actually started my apprenticeship in 69. In 1970, I saw Little Big Man and sat there with my mouth open, going, God, and saying, God, would I love to be able to do something like that. And going back to the man I worked with, Bob Schiffer, with pictures from the magazine, and going, God, how do you do this? And going on for years wanting to be anything like Dick Smith. And then, after I finished my apprenticeship in 1973, I was up for a job that I wanted to do badly, which had to do with an age makeup. And I was trying to get this job badly, and then I heard that there was somebody else that might be getting the job. And this person was recommended by Dick Smith. And again, I went, oh God. And I found out that this person was Rick Baker. And as it turns out, we had a chance to work together, Rick and I, on this first major job of mine. And my first introduction to this man who was only a name to me was through working with Rick and learning some of his techniques from Rick. And then I remember the day when I met Dick, which I believe was while we were working on this show, it may have been soon after, and he came to my little lab at my house, and I was nervous, and I was nervous when I met Rick, much less nervous meeting Dick. And I was working on my sculpture, and Dick walked in, and I said, oh, I don't know, I'm not very good at this, and if you could give me any pointers, any help. And Dick looked at me and he said, yes, you are, you're a very good sculptor. And suddenly I sat there and went, wow, Dick Smith said I'm a good sculptor. And that was so important to me. And that's the type of person he is. That's the man everybody's been talking about up here. He was a major inspiration to me. Not just a major inspiration, but a major support. He is, as a makeup artist, as an inventor, and as a human being, past, present, and probably the future, you're the best, Dick. And I'll always feel that. I love you. Let's hear it again for Stan Winston. Okay, to close out our tribute, let's have another welcome for Mr. Steve Johnson. And let me remind you that this tribute was all Steve's idea, so let's have another round of applause for Steve Johnson.
Hello again. Well, you know, I don't think I can express my respect and admiration for Dick any better than anyone else already has here tonight. Everybody's pretty well said it all, so there's nothing much left for me to do except insult Dick for a few minutes. So, no, just kidding. I would never do anything like that. But, you know, I can say that I never would have moved to California about 13 years ago if it weren't for Dick Smith and, of course, Rick Baker. And like so many of us, I'll never forget the inspiration I felt as a 10-year-old flipping through the pages of Dick's Monster Makeup Handbook. That's pretty much what started it for me, and I think a lot of us. And I think when I was a kid, as young as I was then, if there was any way I could have known then that someday I would not only get to meet Dick Smith, but actually get to know him, I think my brain might have short-circuited. And today I feel very, very lucky and honored to consider Dick a friend. And in any case, I think it's absolutely great we can all gather tonight to pay tribute to Dick. I think it's something that's really been long overdue. So. But to make the evening even more special, I thought we needed to push this thing a little bit further. I thought we needed more than just the celebrity makeup artist to come up and say a few words about Dick. So I've taken it upon myself to go out and do my own celebrity interviews. Now, I did have just a small problem, you have to bear with me, because of budgetary restrictions, certain agency limitations, I couldn't afford and wasn't able to do an actual videotape interview. But all the stars that I approached really wanted to help out with Dick's tribute tonight, so they all agreed to an audio interview. And so in the true spirit of a celebrity roast, and keep in mind, you guys out there, the key phrase is celebrity roast. This is not meant to offend anyone. I echo the sentiments of everyone else. I have to put this disclaimer on it. It's funny with the laughing and the humor. Here they are.
Well, Mr. Lloyd, first of all, I'd like to thank you for sharing your time with us. And I understand you'd like to say a few words about the greatest makeup artist of all time.
Yeah, I would. Well, first of all, I just want to say that the work that he did on Terminator 2 was unbelievable. And then he did those little green guys, you know, the gremlins. They were pretty funny.
No, that was...
And, well, he had a couple of good seasons on that show, Bewitched. Which Darren was he? Was he the first Darren or the second Darren?
No. Mr. Lloyd, I think you're confusing Dick Smith with some other people.
Oh, Dick Smith. Yeah. Oh, who's Dick Smith?
Cheetahs! Hi, everybody! It's me, your old pal, Roger Rabbit!
Okay, Mr. Rabbit. I understand you have a secret you'd like to share with everyone tonight about Dick Smith.
That's right, Steve. You know, I couldn't let this evening go by without telling you about one of the biggest secrets in Hollywood history. You know, all that cool stuff we tunes get to do, like when they drop a safe on a head or roll over us with a steamroller. Well, those are all makeup effects created by the ruler of rubber, the master of makeup, the prince of prosthetics, the one and only Dick Smith.
Wow, so those are all makeup effects.
Yep.
Well, tell me, Roger, do you remember the first time you met Dick Smith?
Boy, I sure do. We were gonna do the old eyeball gag. You know the one where your eyeballs shoot straight out of your head. Anyway, Dick says, okay, Roger, for this gag we gotta use the prosthetic A. I said, the prosthetic A, not that, anything but that. Please, I'm having an allergic reaction. But he did it, and the rest is history.
Fascinating.
I'll say.
And since then, I understand you and Dick have actually become close friends.
You bet. Why, just the other day, Dick invited me and my lovely wife, Jessica, up to his house to take a look at some pictures of some work he did. Well, he opened the scrapbook, and all I said was, yeah! And he said, what's the matter, Roger? Those are my kids. Anyway, Dickie, from all of us tunes, thanks for everything. We love you, and I'll see you at Disney World in Florida. Oh yeah, Mickey and Goofy say hi too.
Well, Mr. Dangerfield, I'd really like to thank you for being here with us tonight. So, Rodney, may I call you Rodney?
Hey, take it easy.
Sorry. So tell me, Mr. Dangerfield, how did you first become aware of Dick Smith?
I'll never forget that day. My director came over to me. He said, Rodney, you're gonna work with a new makeup artist. His name's Dick Smith. I said, Dick Smith? What's a Dick Smith? I mean, I know what a blacksmith does. What does a Dick Smith do? Didn't he remember go to jail for being a Dick Smith? Oh, take it easy.
But you did get to know him pretty well.
Oh, you better believe I did. And Dick's had a rough life. I mean, when he was a baby, he was breastfed by his father. And I'll tell you, it didn't get any better. When he was 7 years old, his old man said, hey, Dick, do you want to go hunting? Dick said, sure, I'm game. So his dad shot him. Oh, it was terrible. Even in high school, he got no respect. He had to share his locker with a mop.
Okay, Rodney. But how about his makeup career?
Oh, don't get me started with that. I'll tell you, before Dick came along in special effects makeup, people didn't really know what they were doing. They showed up, and they had no idea whatsoever. I mean, the other day, I'm over at Dick's shop. He says, Rodney, give me a hand with these loose bladders. I said, Dick, I got problems of my own. Take it easy.
Well, you have to agree, Rodney, that Dick Smith's had a really impressive and long career.
Long career. Yeah, he's had a long career. He's been around forever. You know, everybody thinks he did such a great job on the makeup for Amadeus. He knew Amadeus. I mean, he's old, I tell you, he's old. Yeah, Dick knew it was time to retire when they needed an old age makeup. They told him to just take a life cast of his own face. I mean, he's old. No, seriously, Dick, I love you.
So basically, I guess you could say you've got a great deal of respect for Mr. Smith.
Respect. Yeah, Dick gets respect. I'll tell you. But me, I get no respect. No respect at all.
Just a few celebrities' viewpoints of working with Dick Smith. And Dick, wherever you are, remember, I just asked the questions, Dick. I had no control of what these guys said. It's, Anyway, I've already said that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Dick Smith. But I wonder how many of the audience tonight realize just how important Dick's contributions to this industry really are. Because if Dick Smith had never gotten involved in special makeup effects, maybe Rick Baker never would have become involved in special makeup effects. If Rick Baker hadn't, possibly Rob Bottin never would have. So on and so on, down the line across the board. I think all of us can trace our career beginnings at some point back to Dick Smith. But what if Dick had become interested, let me get this up, what if Dick had become interested in another line of work? I think a lot of you know that at one point he briefly considered ministry as a career. And I think because he's so focused and so inventive, he would have gone to the top of any career that he chose. And a lot of you may know that he also considered, or he did for a brief period of time, work in a natural history museum. The implications are mind-boggling. Where would the state-of-the-art of special effects be today if not for Dick Smith, if he had gone into another line of work? Well, I happen to know that Dick did toy with one other profession during the early 1950s. And I think tonight's the perfect opportunity to let you all in on it. As it turns out, as unbelievable as this may sound, Dick actually, for a brief period of time, pursued a singing, songwriting career. Don't be embarrassed, Dick. It's okay. But as fate would have it, the world just wasn't ready for Dick's particular musical style. He was ahead of his time with that, as he is with everything else. But I think you'll all be amazed to find tonight that in the 1990s, Dick Smith is not only the godfather of special makeup effects, as it turns out, he's also the godfather, the granddaddy of modern rap music. That's right, Dick was rapping as early as 1952, and 40 years later, his pioneering musical style has influenced such rap superstars as Ice-T and MC Hammer. And the really interesting thing about the whole deal is, I'm about to play a cut from one of his first albums, but the really interesting thing here is, if you listen closely to the lyrics, you'll find it's pretty obvious that Dick's true love has always been makeup. Luckily for all of us. So here we go.
Excuse me for nothing on the video again. It's dark. That's just the way it goes. Hopefully we'll have something over here soon. People are running amok all over the place. The screen is just on it. It's just sitting there. Just waiting for me to come back to the last one so I can continue with my show live from that. And so Eric is doing a good job as a temporary host.
It's not coming on? What do you mean it's not coming on? I haven't seen anything.
We're just going to talk.
What's the problem?
Something else comes on. Hey, we've got some killer movies. Godzilla vs. Violante. That's right. Somebody called and asked about that on my last program. When is another Godzilla movie coming out? Well, we got it now. Oh, here we go.
Jesus Christ, thank you for letting me enjoy the happy hero feast good. When you open your mouth, keep it to the time to wait in for I know. And such that this is a piece you can't stop. You can't stop this. This is a little masterpiece, and you can't beat this. Look at these wrinkles, man. You can't sculpt these. Let me putz those funky light cats. You can't scope it. Brush these sponges and putz. You're taking care of that now. You've got to make a putz, so move. Out of your kit, now grab a pair of tweezers and stretch these thin if it rolls. Take a small cup, pour a little ice, though, pick it right back up, like that. Just like that. Brush underneath, don't hold back, because you know, if you use too much, then this is the place you can't touch. You're going to hold you, chaps. You can't touch this. You'll have normal sticky mess. Put some powder on before you touch this. So apply the hair tea. Time's up, sucker. Give me a puff and powder. Have some more time, then have some ladder. Next. The facts. You talk about the paint. You better use facts. That's right. It's mine. It's just listening around the mouth. I need time to repair. What's it going to take to end my despair? Be it easy? If you can't blend it off, you might as well quit. That's my word, as you know. You can't shoot this. You can't shoot this. Blend it all. Now, simple time. So make a mistake and add more red and wave your hands in the air. Don't let the cameras roll till you dress your hair. That's it. Now you're finished. Close up your kit and now you get a chance to sit. On your butt. But wait a minute. They just called lunch. I can't take this. Can't touch this up. Good God. The hell is y'all walking off this desk? This reminds me of an incident I had on Oldest Day. With Winston doesn't have any idea.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? Multi-talented. In any case, let's hear it for the greatest makeup artist of all time, Dick Smith. Dick, come on. Hopefully you'll accept this award from me now, Dick, after that. We're still pals, aren't we, Dick? Anyway. On behalf of all of us and Fangoria, I'd like to present you with this Lifetime Achievement Award. It's about time.
Well, my friends and Tony Home, Fangoria, thank you for making this possible. But all my friends and colleagues, very, very grateful for all those wonderful, lovely, nice things that you said. I'm also grateful to Steve for putting a little heart in all that sweetness. He reminds me of a teacher that I had in prep school who used to take me down a peg when I got the swelled head and got a little sassy. He would say, "Now don't get uppity, little Smitty." Well, I'm trying to remember that tonight. It's hard. I wonder if I can tell you really what it's like to experience what I'm experiencing. I have to go back 50 years to when I decided to become a makeup artist. Am I holding this mic right, by the way? I feel like I'm getting a little closer to you now. A little closer? Yeah. Is it better? Okay. Is that okay, Tony? You know, 50 years ago, when I decided to become a makeup artist, it was an entirely different world. And for me, a Yale student, to choose this career, it was like absolutely unheard of. I mean, no one even knew there were such things as makeup artists in those days. I only found out because I found a book on makeup on sale, half price, and thought that would be neat. But it was crazy for me to make this decision because I had no obvious artistic skills. And on top of that, I really didn't believe that I had the talent to become a makeup artist. So, a while later, I did become a successful TV makeup artist, but there was a little voice inside of me that said, you know, you were just there at the right time, the right place, and that sort of thing. It took me years to become a good makeup artist. And it all took more years even to get to the point where I thought that, where I accepted that I was a top makeup artist. Well, I've come to the point, I guess I'm convinced now, that I've made it, so to speak. I know my accomplishments, I know my worth, I'm very proud of it, of course. But still, for me to be here, I'm like two people. I'm still that young guy who didn't have any idea that he could ever make it, as well as myself. And this is so incredible. It's so, well, it's like winning $100 million lottery. I mean, it can't happen. It's impossible. It's a dream. But it is happening. And it's an incredible joy. And I love it so much, I have to keep telling myself, now don't get up any little smidge. Whether I deserve it or not, I've been very lucky. You know, makeup has brought me 46 years of excitement, of challenge, of achievement, and fun. But it's also brought me something far, far more important. Something that 50 years ago I never could have had an inkling of. And that is, it's brought me so many friends. I bless you all. You've made me the happiest man alive.